What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. This is the Texans Better Talk Show. Let's do another mock draft. This will be a 3-round mock draft on PFF. Post-combine, obviously, so we're going to be factoring into that, their combine results, and I'm sure PFF will have a great take on the updated rankings. So let's just get straight into this, and let's enter the draft. Start draft. All right, we're going to go pretty fast with this. I'm going to go over who gets taken before us, obviously, before we make our decisions. Tyler Booker and Kelvin Banks going right before us, so that's kind of rough if you wanted a guard in the first round. Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Membo going fourth. Wow, I was really high on Membo. I did not. He's my favorite O-line prospect in this draft. I've never seen him go fourth, so wow, he's high up here. Tyler Warren going fifth to the Jags. That's not fun. Will Campbell going off after Membo is very interesting. Mason Graham, Jahad Campbell, Genty going to the Saints, Mikael Williams, Shamar Stewart making his way up until 11. Ted McMillan at 12. That's good value. Josh Simmons, Will Johnson. I got a cornerback going. Mike Green making a name for himself going 17. Amanawari, nice safety. Golden going 20. And Abuka going 22. So this is kind of a draft or an order where I definitely see this playing out like in IRL, in the actual draft. Kelvin Banks going and Tyler Booker really puts you in kind of a rough position at that guard spot. You could take Gray Zabel. Gray Zabel's probably the best O-line prospect that's left. I don't know if it's a reach, probably maybe a little bit. At that spot, Tate Ratledge is a reach for sure. Let's look at the wide receivers. Luther Burden is there. Luther Burden, at one point was considered the second best wide receiver in the draft, obviously after Ted McMillan, counting Travis Hunter as a cornerback. But Luther Burden's stock has fallen, not because of the draft community, just because of what we've kind of heard from NFL GMs and the general consensus, especially after the combine. So I would have told you that majority of draft people probably had Luther Burden ahead of Emeka Abuka and Matthew Golden. And now I think as PFF is really kind of churning out, Luther Burden is kind of falling. I think he might end up being my pick. Again, I love Gray Zabel as a prospect. I just really don't think I want to pick him at 25. You definitely could. You can make the argument. You could 100% make the argument. But I think Luther Burden is almost at the point where he's being slept on. Like, the talent is there, the shiftiness, the physicality. I don't know. I don't understand why he's falling as much as he is. When I see the tape, I see a Missouri offense that wasn't amazing. I think when GMs see the tape, they really start to question his production, which you 100% can. We could look at some of the defense. We could look at running backs, Marion Hampton being there. Don't know if the Texans should take a running back with their first pick. Starks being the safety you could look at. That's nice too. Hold on. Malachi Starks still being there is very interesting. Oh, I didn't even realize Malachi Starks was there. The argument for safety would be Jimmy Ward always gets hurt. You pretty much have to look at Eric Murray being your full-time safety. If you draft Starks, you have a plan for after. You have a plan for after Jimmy Ward. I think I might go Malachi Starks. I didn't even notice that. I was so set on offense that I didn't realize Malachi Starks was staring at me right in the face. I think we'll do that. I think we'll take a safety with the first pick, which is kind of insane. But I'm also not going to offer any trades. It's notable to note that I believe Colston Loveland was there when we picked. Let me just confirm that. Because he would have been the other. Yeah, okay. Colston Loveland was there. He would have been probably the only other. Wow, Jackson Dart. They've got Jackson Dart high. Loveland being there kind of sucks for us. Zabel gets taken immediately. Now we want to look at receivers. Besh goes, one of my personal favorites. Ravel was there at the cornerback position as well. Starting to get a couple of running backs in Trayvon Henderson. We might be able to find a really good running back right here. Not really. Okay, so for a second I thought the kid from Iowa was still there. Caleb Johnson's still there. Dylan Sampson's a good speed back if you're into speed. Cam Scatabo, really physical. I have no idea where Cam Scatabo is going in this draft. I think he could go in the second round. I think he'd go in the fourth round. Like, he's going to be really interesting to look at. I'm not in love with any of these running backs at 57. I think we should look at the wide receivers. Restrepo definitely jumps off the page to me. Williams a little high, I think. Bonds, not a fan of. Trey Harris, a lot of people high on Trey Harris. I'm not the biggest Trey Harris guy in the world. I don't want to go defense again. We could look at the tight ends. Arroyo would be nice. Elijah Arroyo, the tight end out of Miami, had a breakout year. Really, really great receiving tight end. I think it's between Arroyo and Restrepo, which is kind of funny because they're teammates. I don't feel comfortable going with really don't feel comfortable going with more defense. Alfred Collins isn't a bad pick at all, though. I think we're going to go wide receiver. And, with this draft, you would really hope that we signed a free agent guard. But we'll draft Restrepo and try to find a good guard in the third round. Ursere just went off. Scotabo goes off. Not surprising there. Elijah Roberts, the edge from SMU, goes. Mason Taylor, Cameron Williams goes. Jordan Phillips. I think we can find a decent. Sorry, I'm like losing my train of thought. I'm trying to look at who got. Okay, I think we can find a decent running back potentially, but yeah, I'm not in love with any of these running backs. Actually, we're not going to go running back. We're going to address the O-line. Let's look at the tackles. R.J. Harvey, Jonah Savaiena, Wyatt Milam. I have Sayavena way over Milam. Milam's decent, though. Let's look at interior offensive line as well. Tate Ratledge, the guard from Georgia. I actually kind of like the idea of Tate Ratledge over Savaiena. It's close. It could go either way. Ratledge or Savaiena is pretty close. I have them like neck and neck on my board. I think I'm leaning towards Savaiena. I don't know how to say his name, but I think I'm leaning towards the tackle out of ASU. Trying to think. I think we could glance at tight end. Gunnar Helm's still there. His stock kind of fell after the combine. Harold Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green, definitely if you want to upgrade the tight end spot. But I think we're just mainly going to go. I think we're just going to take Savaiena. He makes the most sense to me. If you wanted to go Ratledge, I think you could as well. But let's draft Savaiena, the tackle, obviously going to move him into the guard position. So they're going to grade our draft. What do we get? A+, A, and B- on Savaiena, which is to be expected. Little high for him. But overall draft grade was an A. Malachi Starks being there was awesome at the safety position. Can't ignore that. Then we went with Restrepo as a wide receiver to get some much-needed wide receiver help. Finally, Jonah Savaiena at the guard position. So really addressed two needs as a receiver and the tackle position, and really got a very good value pick and long-term option at that safety position. So that is my 3-round mock draft. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this. Do you think I made the right decisions? Do you think we should have stuck hard with a receiver potentially in Luther Burden at 25, or did you like the safety pick? That's really all I got for this video, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one, man. Peace out.